Hi everybody and welcome to the Progressing Recruiter Lives Everywhere podcast, brought to you by the Amoria Bond Group. In each episode, we'll be exploring what life is like for those who work in recruitment, from the first few weeks of training to the life-changing success stories that can be achieved, all from the people that work in the industry every day. Within recruitment, there are no limits to how far that you can progress, and we want to show you how and why choosing to work in recruitment could be the best decision for your life and your career. I'm Amy Steele and I work for CMC, who are the consulting brand of the Amoria Bond Group. I'm the director for our renewable energy division covering EMEA and North America, and I'm actually based out of our Manchester office. In this episode, I'm talking to Natasha Crump, our Group People and ESG Director. Today, we're going to tell you why recruitment and consulting is a great career for women and what amazing initiatives the Amoria Bond Group and CMC have to offer. So, Natasha, hi. It is fantastic to have you on the podcast today as a guest. Attracting, retaining and progressing females within our sector is something that both you and I are incredibly passionate about, and I've been so excited to do this episode, so I'm really pleased that we've got around to doing it now. So I thought a good place for us to start would be for you just to give the listeners a bit of an overview of your role in the business, because I think that's really important in linking as to why we're doing this today and why getting females into the sector is so important.
Hi Amy, yeah, thank you. Lovely to be here. Like you, I'm really excited to be discussing this today. As you say, my role is People and ESG Director within the Amoria Bond Group. I joined the board about 18 months ago now, having worked with the business for a number of years in a consulting capacity. And actually, it was whilst consulting with the business that I first moved into the space for them around looking at generally their diversity and inclusion strategy, policy and commitments. And that's where you and I really got to know each other as well with regards to what we could do specifically for women in the business. But just taking a step back from that, when we first started looking at actually what were we doing and from the business perspective in terms of how inclusive really are we as a business, how diverse really are we as a business, and are we doing enough really to attract diverse talent, not only into our own business, but into the industry as a whole, because this is an industry everyone within Amoria Bond is super passionate about and really enthusiastic about, and we want to attract as diverse a talent pool as we can into our industry, and also to support our clients in doing the same across the sectors that we serve. So we're actually one of the founding partner members of the Diversity and Inclusion Charter, something that our chair, Gary Alden, is one of the founding partners of. And sort of off the back of signing that commitment, we've taken that really seriously, and we've looked at lots of different ways and different elements of diversity and inclusion across our business, from what are we doing to support and encourage those of our employees who have families, what are we doing from a race and ethnicity diversity perspective. And again, we're founding members of Programme 1, which is a collaborative initiative within the recruitment industry, which aims to remove barriers to Black talent and encourage more Black people into the recruitment industry. That's a really unique programme because it's different competing recruitment companies coming together and collaborating, working together to the same end, which is brilliant. Also, a lot of work that we've done around wellbeing, mental health, which is a really important part of diversity and inclusion as well. And a really important part for me is about the inclusive local committees that have been set up in each of our offices, what we call our cultural committees. So, for example, within the Manchester office, we have a diversity and inclusion committee, we have a CSR committee, we have our social committee, and we have an incentives committee. And what those committees allow is for employees to get involved with the strategy of the business, but in the areas that they're really passionate about, and actually to really influence our strategy, our agenda, our culture as a business. And that's really important when you're talking about inclusivity and an inclusive, diverse culture. I hear this phrase, an ideas meritocracy, quite often at the moment. And that's really at the heart of Amoria Bond. It's one of the things that most attracted me to the business. So yeah, there's a lot of different elements, but as you know, Ascend is one of the ones that's very close to my heart, and one of the areas you and I have worked really hard on together.
Yeah, it is. And, thank you so much for giving an overview there, Natasha. And I think you and I talk about this all the time. We're putting so much into diversity and inclusion. And I think as a sector, companies are coming a really far way in this area now compared to maybe before. But we're still not quite there yet. And there's still always going to be more that we can do. I, for one, firsthand have seen some of the impact of a lot of these initiatives have made on our business. The committees that you talked about, the employees being able to play such a vital role to the strategy of our business and helping to improve our diversity and inclusion has done absolute wonders for engagement, and it's really starting to shape our business. And as we grow so quickly, it's so important that it's a top priority for us. And it's been something that I've really seen the shift in our business over the last 18 months since you've joined. But it's just such a priority, really, for everybody in the sector, I think. And I feel like everyone's on the same page with it too, which is just brilliant because it's so important. Now, you mentioned Ascend, and we're going to focus in on that one because, the purpose of the podcast today is to address, females in recruitment and making sure that people feel that we did a LinkedIn Live just recently. We talked about breaking the bias in this area. For me, it is so important that females who are considering the sector or working in it now want to be part of it, because it's so important that we have that diverse gender mix. And, I do think, though, there are people out there that maybe do think that it is still more of a male-dominated world, and it is more geared up for men. And I actually don't think that's the case at all. So pleased that we're shining a light on that today. And yeah, let's talk about Ascend then, because we love Ascend. We founded Ascend. We know all about Ascend. But yeah, tell the listeners all about it.
So Ascend was a programme that you and I, Amy, started off together, and it kind of was very organic in the early days. So when I started working more closely with the business, not long before I joined the board, you and I had a number of conversations where we were talking about what we could do for women across the group, particularly outside at that time of the Manchester office, where we were falling short really as a business in terms of attracting and retaining women within our sales teams. The company's always had a proud history of kind of having a really good amount of diversity, of promoting women into senior roles. Yourself, you were the fastest ever associate director, from trainee to associate director within the business, and now director, obviously. But we were falling short in some of our offices. And part of the problem was that whilst we have promoted and progressed women across the group, that wasn't necessarily the case within every single location. And as the business has grown, there weren't necessarily the direct access to female role models at a senior level within some of our other offices. So that was kind of the discussion you and I were having, because we were thinking about how do we better support the women we had in our business already so that we could keep them there and progress them. So the idea of Ascend was really initially about creating connection and creating that network of women and that access to female role models like yourself, for people who weren't based in an office with senior females. And then really it's kind of really snowballed from there. It picked up pace really quickly. But remember when we first started talking about the concept, so Ascend, we knew the objectives were very clear between us from day one. We wanted to attract, we wanted to retain and progress more women in our business, and we wanted to do that through empowering them themselves. And I remember talking about what should we call this network-based programme. When we came up with Ascend, what were those letters going to stand for? And that, there is an acronym around Ascend, but it's all really about elevating and empowering women through connection and access to role models, and access to really great development and learning that we could give to our female employees. And it's been and celebrating each other's successes, seeing the progression of other women across the business. And now we are second anniversary. It is now a really big feature within our business. It's well regarded within the business.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many different women who are involved at different levels within the business in running different elements. We have our Ascend lunches, which are a really great way of getting local, kind of more informal networking happening within each of the different offices. We now have the Lean In circles, which you and I aren't involved with, which other women across the business organise themselves at a peer-to-peer level to have that kind of more intimate kind of networking opportunity to support each other in different ways. We have our Ascend Speed mentoring, which we have for newer female employees within the business, giving them an opportunity to meet with other females who are newer within the business, whilst also learning from more experienced and senior females across the business. There's just so many different things that we've done. Lots of different webinars. We try and aim for a webinar at least every other month where, it's either showcasing and shining a light on progression within our business, or we're bringing in people from outside of the business, external experts who can really help equip the females within our business with the tools that they need. And as you know, one of the things I'm super excited about with our new group L&D manager, Lisa Garner, having joined the business, is that we're now developing an Ascend learning and development program of itself. So it's really, really been given that strategic prioritization within the board and within the business. This isn't you and me kind of in the corner quietly trying to push this along. This has absolute support from the founders, from our chair and CEO, all the way through the business. And it's been fantastic to see the way that women across our business have actually stepped up and stepped into the opportunities and really kind of taken Ascend way beyond, I think, what you and I ever thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's it. And I think, a couple of key things there that have stood out to me based on what you've described. And I think the first one is, like I said, it's not just about you and I. It's the fact that the females in the business shape the program as well. So all different levels, all different departments, all different locations, every single individual has their say, is as involved or not involved as they want. And the feedback has been absolutely fantastic in so many different ways. People feel like they're more part of something now. I know what's going on in people's business in other parts of the world that I would never have even really met before, other than maybe once a year. And it's so nice to feel part of a network like that as well. It's so easy to get really absorbed into your own desk, your own team, and get so stuck into the thick of it day to day that taking a step back to see and hear about what everybody else and all the other females in the business are doing is really so inspiring and so rewarding. And I know from speaking to a number of the females that other people's stories have resonated with them. The experiences that they've had, they're sharing their personal stories. And you've got somebody in the Manchester office listening to somebody from maybe the German office talking about that, and they're thinking, that's me, I'm really inspired by that. And I think we know about a lot of the successes that we've seen, but actually it's reached so much further than that because of all the things that we don't know about as well, and the connections that we've allowed these females to make is really something special. And although the program itself is geared up for the females in terms of the program, our meetings and the initiatives, it's actually really beneficial for all the men in the business as well, because they know that having a gender diverse workforce makes for a far better business. We provide a better service to our clients, we have a better culture, a more enjoyable working environment, and lots of different skills all being brought to the table to make for a higher level of service. And from a management perspective, we're offering training to managers around this sort of thing as well. So whilst the program is there for the females, you talked about Lisa Garner putting in place a new program. That's for everybody in the business, not just the females. And we've invited a number of the men to a number of sessions that we've done. We've opened it up to the entire company, because sometimes a lot of these topics are just as applicable to them, just from a different take. So it really is something that's not just connecting our females and progressing more of our females, it's actually, and giving people access, it's the entire company. And that's what I love about it. And the support, like you said, from the founders, the chairman, CEO is unequivocally there, which is so important when you're trying to work on something like this that isn't just the day-to-day of the job. It's something that for me personally is a unique part of my role that didn't exist before, but certainly part of the role that I enjoy the most and find the most rewarding.
Absolutely.
So I think it's been such a fantastic initiative.
Yeah, I love it. I love working with you on it, Amy. It's just been a brilliant programme to work on. But you're absolutely right. This isn't about, just about how we attract women in. What's wonderful now is we're seeing so much buy-in from right across the business. Like you said, you and I were at the senior management leadership conference earlier this week. One of the biggest and most kind of engaged topic of conversations on the agenda was all about what more can we be doing? What else do we need to be doing to encourage more women into our business, to progress more women in our business, to see more women going, reaching director level, board level positions. And that's fantastic that at a strategic level, those are the conversations that we're having. And it's a key part of every board meeting now as well. It's one of the things that I need to be reporting on. And that's brilliant, because it's by coming together and working together that's how we'll get that change.
Absolutely. I mean, I could talk about Ascend all day, and I'm so excited about what we've got coming up as well. Moving away from Ascend slightly though, and thinking about the industry as a whole, from your experience, why would you say that it is a great career for females?
Yeah, well, look, as someone who's relatively new to the industry, having worked all through my career anyway in male-dominated industries, what's really interesting about recruitment is, yes, it's really perceived as being this sort of male-dominated industry, absolutely. This Wolf of Wall Street kind of perception that people have about the industry. In reality, coming in sort of fresh, because it's such an agile industry, and because it's quite forward-thinking, and because it has to keep pace with the sectors that it serves, actually, the opportunity to change this industry and the speed of kind of change and pace within the industry, it's actually really, really great. And it means that it's catching up very, very quickly. Don't get me wrong, there is a long way to go for the industry, not just from a gender diversity perspective, but actually broadly speaking from a kind of being a really truly diverse and inclusive industry. But there is a genuine desire for change. I see it within our business. I see it at the industry events that I'm involved with, the award ceremonies that I go to when I'm picking up our awards. And I hear it at the panel events that I'm quite often invited to now within this role. There is a genuine desire across the industry to change the culture and to change that real misconception that we're not an inclusive and diverse industry. So it's an exciting place to work. The appetite is there for change. You can see it with a number of recruitment industries that, like I said earlier, are working together on Programme 1, that have signed the Diversity and Inclusion Charter. But also just within recruitment and management consulting, there's so many different things that you can do. There's so many different kind of roles and opportunities. And that means actually for women, and this is really important for women. I am being a little bit kind of stereotyping here, but talent mobility for women is very, very important, because women generally, and I am broad strokes here, but generally women will over their career generally have more kind of need to maybe flex what they're doing, whether it's children or whether it's caring responsibilities. But the kind of seasons in a lot of women's lives will mean that actually that opportunity for talent mobility is really important. And by that, I mean, recruitment is so much more than just sales roles. There's huge opportunities across multiple functions. It's kind of, a microcosm of all the different jobs you could probably ever think of within recruitment, and within the space you now work in, within the management consultancy area. Mm-hmm. And actually the skill set, the natural skill set, and again, I apologise because I am kind of talking in terms of gender stereotypes quite a lot here, but the skill sets, those softer skill sets that quite often females can bring to a role, are absolutely vital to success here. And just going back to that, it's a very male dominated industry. You have to kind of bring out your alpha male to succeed. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
Some of the best women, yourself included, the most successful women, the quickest to progress, are the women within our industry who are able to be themselves. And for me, that's a critical part of what we're trying to deliver here at Amoria Bond, is creating psychological safety for our employees to be themselves, to come as themselves to work and succeed and progress in their own way, exactly as you have, Amy, exactly as we're seeing more and more women across the business doing. You mentioned the LinkedIn Live session that we did. Look at the variety of women that we had there. So I've talked in generalistic terms, but actually women are totally different. We've got to nurture that and embrace that and allow women and men, whatever gender you are, whoever you are, to be your absolute self, so that you can be your best. Because it's only when you can be really truly yourself that you can really truly kind of thrive and succeed in a sustainable way. So for all those reasons, it's a fantastic industry. And I just want to see greater diversity. Honestly, the appetite is absolutely there. But what about you? What's your experience, recruiter, international?
Yeah, I mean, as somebody, I guess, who's been in the industry for decades, so a really long time, I absolutely think it's a fantastic career path and sector to go in as a female, because of everything that you've just said, but from personal experience as well. The opportunity to progress has just been phenomenal. Now, the way that we operate here at Amoria Bond is it is a meritocracy. You progress based on performance alone. It is the same for everybody. And I would never, at any point of my career, joined here straight out of university, never once felt like I'm being held back because I'm a female. Not once. I've had equal opportunity, experience, everything as every male within this business. So I've had a really, really positive experience myself. But what I would say is, as a sector, it is very forward thinking, and the skill set that you need to be successful lends itself very, very well to both genders. It's not all about being aggressive sales at all. It's about providing a fantastic service to your clients, to your candidates. It's about good quality work, building relationships, networking the relationships that you've got, and being passionate about doing a good job. We talk all the time, and the podcast is named after it. Progressing lives. That is our purpose, and I genuinely feel like I do that with this job. I feel like I make a difference. We work in renewable energy. We are deploying consultants onto projects to help make the world a greener place, to save the environment. And that's meaningful. That's powerful stuff. And I get so much fulfillment from that. Internally, working with amazing people and watching them progress, learn skills that they never had before, and change their life, whether it be financially, through experiences, through the skills and responsibilities that they're learning. I, again, get so much fulfillment for that. Yes, it's a sales job. Yes, of course, there are the connotations around recruitment of being quite aggressive at times. If you join a business that's structured in a collaborative way, you won't even get that at all. But ultimately, yes, it is sales, but it is the complexity of the sell means that it's so much more involved, and it's so much more rewarding, fulfilling. No day is the same, and you're dealing with people. And if you like dealing with people and providing a great service to them and having an impact on their life, your sector's life, and the people within your organization, then you would love recruitment. You really would, male or female. But typically, and again, similar to you, not trying to generalize at all, but as a female, networking, building relationships, those things are typically where a female will get fulfillment from their job. And recruitment can absolutely give you that. Without a doubt, it really, really can. And I, personally didn't really know what recruitment was when I joined this business. I just knew I needed to get in. I wanted to get in some sort of sales role, and I'm just so grateful that I did choose to go down this path, because the skills that I have now, obviously as a director in the company, I really don't think I would have got access to so quickly in my life had I not been in this sector or at this company, because you're given so much autonomy, so much flexibility, and you're exposed to a lot of business related strategy so quickly that it's just so rewarding. So I really would encourage anybody, male or female, who is considering a career in recruitment to go for it, because it can be really, really life-changing in so many different ways. And if there are any females who are a little bit uncertain, or maybe they've had a bad experience, please do some more research, get in touch with us. We're always looking for more females and males, but definitely more females as well. Like I said earlier, we've done a fantastic job. We are not there yet, and we are under no illusions we are not there yet when it comes to gender diversity within our business, but we are making so much progress. But yeah, get in touch, because I really, really think if there are stereotypes still out there, that if you were to join our business or join any of the other fantastic recruitment businesses out there, you would see actually it's really, really different in reality.
Couldn't agree more. Absolutely. And I think it's, whether it's someone thinking about recruitment, or maybe it's someone who sat in the recruitment company thinking this doesn't reflect my reality.
Yeah.
Give us a shout, contact us, because we'll happily talk about what we're doing and what's working, because it is a genuine desire, not just for our own businesses, but across the Amoria Bond group, but across our industry, and like I said before, across the sectors we serve as well. We're so passionate about it. So yeah, lovely to speak to you again, Amy, today on this one.
I know, you too, Natasha. Thank you so much. It's been brilliant to catch up in it. I've really, really enjoyed this today. And I really hope everybody who's listening has gained some valuable insights about our industry, why recruitment is an amazing opportunity for women, for anybody. And as Natasha said, reach out, get in touch, whether you're looking to join our business, amazing. We're looking for people all the time. Please send your CV to work for us at amoriabond.com. Or if you're already in the sector and some of the things that we've said today, resonate with you and your business, and you want to discuss it further, as Natasha said, we're always looking to network with these people and speak to you and look at how we can make the sector and the industry even better in this respect.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much. Cheers.